Yo, what's good, y'all? Today is Thursday, November 6th. I just want to quickly run through and look at this really nice A+ short opportunity that I wasn't able to take advantage of and just kind of review it in journalists. So without further ado, just hop in. So let's just quickly run through and quickly clear these charts up, and then we'll take a fresh look at everything that happened today, right? So yesterday we ended up placing in this SMT right here. So looking at the market, like literally 5-year-old analysis, we're moving lower, right? We have this huge imbalance range right here that if we wanted to see this get held, most likely we would have held this new week open gap. Why is that? Because it's a new week open gap that's right at equilibrium with this bigger range right here. And in this imbalanced range, I'm usually going to want to see a quick tap and a move higher if we're going to move higher, right? So what this is telling me is that we most likely want to rebalance liquidity. Okay, where could we rebalance to? Let's maybe look for this entire range right here. We could pull back to this point that we just tapped today, right? We could do a whole bunch of different things in this range, but right now price is showing me we want to move lower. So I don't need to worry about a bigger time frame daily or 4-hour target, right? I just need to look at this and say, okay, yeah, we look like we're going lower. So I mean, this is beautiful price action. This is stuff that we dream of, bro. Like, so what we see is this SMT, right? SMT within a bigger time frame bearish trend. Okay, so when we have a bearish trend, what is that actually? Okay, it's actually a market maker sell model. So let's draw in our curve right here. So sell model down to where? We don't know, right? But we can draw in our liquidity level. So we might want to say right here. Okay, this could be our sell model, right? So now we're looking at this and we're saying any single sweep of internal buy side liquidity will be only fuel to take us further down to sell side, right? So what is this right here? If we go down to ES, this sweep becomes nothing but turtle soup or stop raid. I don't have the turtle, so we'll just use the stop, right? But that's what we're looking at as, right? So right here with this SMT, this gets placed in. This is the overnight session, right? So I'll turn on some profiles. We'll look. This is yesterday, actually not overnight, right? So then from there, as market closes, we end up placing in this really nice 1 hour value gap. Notice how the second that we tap that, let's go to ES, right? The second that we take this high, we immediately displace, right? We don't have a little bit higher and then we think about it and then we go lower. No, the second that we get it, we have a candle or two and then we make a nice fair value up to the downside, right? That's what I'm looking at. So when I see that behavior, that's showing me, okay, this is bearish behavior, right? This is bearish order flow, right? So this leg, bearish order flow, this leg, bullish order flow. I want to see which one is going to hold, right? So when I open the market and I see Asia and I see London, okay, what am I looking at? First, I'm looking at a retrace into potential equilibrium of this range right here, right? So now we look, we have a retrace, okay, 4 hour, we most likely go ahead and we tap this inefficiency, right? Do we? Actually, we don't, wow. But there is definitely some type of 30-minute, actually, no, what? Okay, yeah, so this is actually aiding our short bias. Let's check how ES is looking here. ES goes ahead and taps into it, right? So ES taps into this fair value gap right here. I'm expecting to see if price is going to be bullish that we hold one of these levels, right? So second we tap into it, I want to see continuation higher. Instead, what do I see? I see manipulation right here, which is good for the bullish bias, right? But then that manipulation goes ahead and delivers this clean buy curve right here. I'm not even gonna lie, right? However, that's the overnight session, and the whole point of this buy curve and this SMT was to push price where? To go ahead and make yet another internal liquidity sweep now on this internal time frame, right? So this is internal in terms of this model that we're looking at right here, right? With this becoming our sell curve, we'll put it like right here, and then our buy curve right there, and then our sell curve right here, right? So this SMT doesn't turn me off from taking a short once I see my reaction, right? I'm not pre-firing a short like this all the way up here, even though it does honestly make sense, right? I'm not doing this because at this point there's no confirmation, so I'm waiting for that bigger time frame confirmation. So when I get that confirmation, that's when I look to go ahead and take a short, right? So the SMT, like I said, doesn't scare me as well. The existence of that SMT only clarifies my bias even further. Why is that? Because it's an SMT on London low with this, and this profile here on ES is what? This is a seek and destroy model, right? In a seek and destroy model, we can expect to see Asia consolidate or not move, so right here. Then we expect to see London take the side of it, so it takes the low, and then if London takes the low and the high, we expect whichever side New York takes first, a reversal to the other side. So New York takes the high on open, we expect to see a follow through the downside, right? So 8:30 we take the high, and then we continue moving lower. So we open the market right around 9:30-ish, like right here, right? So I'm marking out the sell side right here because the second we open the market, we honestly just dump, right? We don't really give much of an opportunity to get involved. Anything here I don't really like because there wasn't anything like right around here to trade down to this low. I don't really like because there wasn't good, very clean SMT or any like good protected stop losses or any good entries, any good models. It was really just a straight down move, right? So I don't really like to trade that kind of stuff. And as well, the second we open the market, we go and we place in an SMT. Why is that? Because we go ahead and take Asia or London low right here, like literally on 5 minutes after open, where ES hasn't taken the low. Now, what is the opportunity that creates, right? ES hasn't taken the low, but it's very close to taking the low, right? So right here, I'll pull this up right over here, actually. So ES hasn't taken this low yet, right? But we're very confident that it does go in and take the low. Why? Because the order flow is showing us, and there's no reason that we maintain that SMT, because at this point, we have an SMT right here. Okay, isn't that what you like? You'll look at this and say, okay, isn't that the SMT that you'd want to see if you'd want to take a long? Right now, you just have to wait for confirmation and go. Yes, but when the 1 hour and the 30 minute, pull the 30 minute. When our 15 and our 30 minute already confirmed to me with this really nice change in the state right here, and we haven't taken that level yet, I'm expecting this to become that sell curve, right? I'm expecting this to a 1000% deliver all the way to this low right here. I'm not expecting anything less than that. So that's why that SMT doesn't phase me, right? That's why I expect it to be Six Sister, not an SMT that's manipulation that we react off of, right? So what you could have done here, which is what I was honestly looking at doing, but I decided not to, was SMT right here. And then there was, on NQ is honestly a little better, right? There was an inverse and then a change, and then you could have gotten tapped for a entry. So I'll pull this over. It was honestly fine, but for me, it's not my type of trade, right? So inverse, change, and then you can get tapped right here. Just a very, very quick scalp right here to the downside, 1.71. I mean, it played in like literally a candle or two. And then from there, honestly, if you are confident in the move lower, I honestly don't think it's a bad idea to hold partials, or to hold what's it called? Yeah, partials, extended take profits, because dude, this day had a room, right? And as you see later in the day, it plays. So the opportunity that I looked at as being the best opportunity of the day, that was very unfortunate we didn't get tapped, was this, right? Once those levels get taken, we have to zoom out and watch what is our reaction here, because like we were just talking about earlier, there's two things we can do here, right? We still do technically have this big displacement, right? And we have this big leg of imbalance and bullish order flow. If we want to see something like this happen on a bigger time frame, where we take this low and then we start to work our way higher, we are going to sweep this level, and it's going to be very obvious, right? So I expect that level to not get displaced through. Okay, but if we're going to do something like this on this time frame, right, where we move lower, what do we expect? I honestly expect displacement, a little bit of a play around, and then a manipulation, and then a go lower, right? This is what I expect, right? So which one does this hourly candle that closed right here at 9, which one does that tell me? That tells me obvious displacement, right? Because once we close at this level, what enemies are left to price going all the way to this low? Literally nothing. Maybe this low, okay. Maybe it's a swing low, okay. But what is that also? It's literally just generated liquidity, bro. So once we see that 1 hour candle close at 9, I'm fully bearish for the rest of the day. So I see that candle close, and what that does for me is 9 o'clock right here, 10 o'clock right here. So it closes right here. Then this is where our 1050 macro, or our 950 macro, doesn't really deliver a whole lot. It gives us this small little short opportunity that you could have taken advantage of if you just kind of took it on the change. But your R is very, very low here. If you target this, I mean, not my type of trade. But the opportunity that I was looking at that I thought was very, very clean was this right here. So on ES, NQ's the same way. We get that really nice 1 hour candle closure. I'm really, really looking bearish now. I don't think there's any reason that we go higher from here, right? So when I see this, all this says to me is, okay, liquidity pool. We had an SMT right here, but why do we have the SMT? The same way that on the bigger time frame, we had that SMT right here on these London and Asia lows right here, because the whole point was to rebalance price to then distribute it lower, right? So do I want to trade this small little rebalance move or the big distribution? I want to trade that big distribution, right? So when I see that, I say, okay, this is exactly what I looked at before. What do I need to do to take a short? I need to see a point within this entire leg that I think is a point at which we'd want to reject, get tapped. I need to see an SMT get placed in, and I need to see a go, right? So what I mean by all of that is I want to see a point that I expect to reject, right? What is that? Honestly, we can expect anywhere in this leg, but let's be a little bit more precise, right? Let's set myself a standard or an expectation that's going to say, I'm only going to take the trade once we're in premium of the range, right? So second we tap premium, what do? We place in this SMT right here, okay? Looking really, really good. What's our time? 10:24. It's not the best, but it's okay. It's early in the morning session. All I need now is an inverse, a change, and a new fair value gap. So what I do is I wait for my inverse, my change, really, really clean, and I wait for my new fair value gap, and that's where I ended up going wrong, because this trade, the second we had this candle right here, literally right here on ES, take that level, that's telling me, okay, set your limit at the change and let this John go. See what happens. Don't be scared. Everything lines up. Don't be scared. Let this go, right? So what I ended up doing is I ended up waiting for the new fair value gap, and I ended up placing my limit right at this order block, and then this fair value gap gets placed in. I'm like, all right, let's see if we get tapped. Honestly, not expecting to, but I don't want to FOMO on anything. We'll see what happens. trade just flushes straight without us, right? And then from there, the way that I would have managed this is once this gets hit, I would take a partial, probably like a 30 or 40%, because I'm very, very confident now that we go to this external level, right? I'm very, very confident. So I'm probably taking a small position off there, and then I'm putting the rest to break even and letting the rest go, right? So the R we could have got today would have been like 4.3. And then if you're leaving standard deviation, which I thought was once again, very, very clean, this is an obvious manipulation, which is why we can use it here, because look, in this leg, this is our continuous move, right? Big wick at the bottom showing big rejection, fair value gaps. Okay, then we stop, right? That's a nice manipulation leg, and watch how price respects it, right? The second we tap 2 to 2.5, we start slowing down, and then our end of day target is going to be that 3.5 to 4, right? So this could have been a major take profit level. I would have only taken it to 3.5, but if you're a dog, you can tap out to 4, but that's crazy in my opinion. I like 3.5. That would have been the furthest I took this trade, and bro, I wish I could have got involved in this opportunity. So what could I have done better? I think honestly, taking a market stab is not that bad, because in this situation, our R is still going to be 2.83, right? So if this is our trade and I just take a market position because I know that there's going to be a fair value gap get placed in within this leg, right? It's not that bad. And as well, we do have, I think on NQ, we had a fair value gap already placed in within the leg, right? So it makes sense to take the market order. And as well, if narrative is lined up, we don't need the 1 minute to make a small fair value gap, because that small fair value gap isn't going to change the whole game, right? The reason I care about that fair value gap is because in terms of this model, what I was expecting or being watchful of is this being a lethargic push lower to get ran and that be our stop rate to then go push lower. I was already had this in my mind, right? But I'm just waiting until the market confirms it. So I think honestly, once price inverses this level and it closes on the 5 minute too, we had a 5 minute closure there. I think this is honestly fine to just go ahead and be fine with. Like the 3 minute too. Let's check out the 3 minute. We didn't quite make an inversion there, but honestly, I think with the confidence level of this setup, this is completely fine to just take at this change level right here. I'm going to continue working on like not waiting for the most confirmation. I think that a lot of times I'm right, but I wait for too much, and that's kind of biting me in the ass because I don't get to hop in opportunities that are amazing like this, where it literally flushes and we're already breaded and everything's beautiful within like a couple of minutes, right? So honestly, these are the best opportunities, and I think this day was absolutely a conviction builder. Today and yesterday were absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'm feeling super blessed, bro. This is the price action that we dream of, dude. When we start returning from all-time highs, this is like the best week or 2 weeks of price action of all time, bro. Every day except Tuesday and Monday and Tuesday this week have been absolutely amazing, honestly. Like, this is like a beautiful technical model that we're looking at right here with this SMT, turtle soup, back into this little 1 hour for value gap. This is honestly beautiful, bro. This is exactly what we like to see, exactly what ICT traders thrive on, and it's where you can build your conviction. So to wait to not burn your capital on the bad markets and to wait to get examples like this that pop out and are just so beautiful, this is the best thing we can do. So overall, I mean, I'm happy to trade today, happy to look at the market, and yeah. So I think that's good. And without further ado, I'll let you boys go. So peace out. Hope you guys learned something. Peace out.